Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Eddie Jennings from EJSLLC.com. This video is going to be another in my series of practice sessions for the Red Hat Certified Specialist in Containers exam EX188. Before I dive in, I want to thank returning subscribers for watching another video, as well as invite anyone who's watching, if you haven't subscribed, to click the subscribe button. And if you enjoy the video, make sure you click like. A reminder, these are my practice sessions for the exam, and I'm going over the objectives, trying to talk about them and give some examples when applicable of commands and such to run. The idea is it gives me an opportunity to self-assess since I'm just under 2 weeks from my exam, and if at the end of the video I feel pretty confident about the topic, then I'm probably ready for the exam with that. Otherwise, I have some time to brush up on the particular objective before I take my exam. These are not to be considered training materials, nor are they considered to be tutorial videos because I myself am still learning. However, in your own studies, if you're working on EX188, you might find some of the stuff that I do useful with you creating your own things to practice for your own mastery of the topics. So we're moving into the run containers locally using Podman objective set, and the first objective in that is run containers locally using Podman. So this will probably be a relatively short video, but knowing me, I can find ways to chat and keep it going. So let us run a container locally. We're going to do Podman run to get a container. Now, this idea of run containers locally, I think there's kind of more to it than just Podman run, because what Podman run is going to do is start a container as well as pull down an image for you to use if needed. So, and it's going to instantiate the container, if that's the right term. So we're going to give this a name, and the name of this container is going to be test1. And the image that we're going to pull down, see if I can do this from memory, redhat.access.redhat.com/UBI, I think it was UBI8/UBI. And we want this container to run just ls-l. So it should pull down the image, and I think by default the UBI image basically runs either bash or shell, and it should give us a listing of what's in the root directory. And it does. And then it would have exited. So Podman ps-a exited with 0 for its exit code. So we're done. No, there's a couple more things that I would like to try. So we have our container. You have the Podman start command as well, and this would, whatever container you have, just start it. So let's try Podman start test1 and see what happens. All right, and it started test1. We see it's not running anymore, and ps-a. That's kind of interesting because I would expect the exit stat. Well, I guess 9 seconds ago that would make sense. I'm surprised it's showing command ls-l. So that's interesting. If I were, let's say I had a web server container. So let me see if I can start that. So Podman run, I'm going to name this web1. I'm going to do port publishing, or rather, it's not really port forwarding, but 8080 on the host is going to be 8080 on the image, and we'll do HTTPD to 4. Now, I didn't do it in detached mode, so we're actually seeing what's going on with the container right now. And if I were to go to my browser, localhost 8080, we see the Apache page. Go back to our container. We'll stop the container. Nothing's running. Podman ps-a, we see the container is stopped. And now, let's do Podman start web1. And we see that web1 is running. And actually we'll do this in a private window so we don't have any caching. Localhost 8080, and there it is. So that's your Podman starting of an existing container. because obviously the web server is designed to be running continuously. Stop a container, Podman stop, and this will be basically using SIG_term. So stop your processes and exit cleanly. You can do Podman kill, I believe, and that will basically send the SIG kill or signal number 9 and not stop cleanly. Just, you are done, container, no more. You can pause a container, but that requires let me check something real quick. Mount, and I'm going to grep. Let me clear the screen here. Well, I can already see it. So there's version 1 and version 2 of C groups, which the C group is a control group that deals with your Linux kernel namespaces, which is the mechanism for partitioning off resources to be used for containers. I don't know off the top of my head what the kernel parameter that needs to be run to have C group version 2, but that basically the C group version 2 has to be mounted in your sysfs file system to be able to do the pausing of containers. So that'll be something I'd want to review, even though I have a feeling that's probably not going to be on the exam, needing to update the kernel or change kernel parameters for boot. But of course it could be. To give an example of the fact that you cannot, I wouldn't be able to pause a container. Let's do Podman start web 1. See if I can try to pause this. I'm fairly sure it's going to error out. Yeah, C group v1. I am curious, man C group. See if there's anything in the man pages that would actually give a hint as to doing version 2 of C groups. Nah. Yeah, I doubt that as well. So that would be something to look up. So definitely we'll need to do that just in case we do need to pause a container, and like the objective is pause this container and your system can't do it and you have to figure out what to do to be able to make that happen. Though this is kind of curious. I wonder if you have a container in a pause state, if you reboot the server, if it'll be running. I do know that that this Podman web 1, let's see, Podman PS, if I were to reboot this server, that container is not going to be running, which I guess I need to, I know there's a method to generate systemd service that would run your container. We might try to do that in this video, because everything you do with a Red Hat exam has to survive a reboot. So I'll be curious if there will be the expectation on the exam, if you have to run a container, that you would know to find a way to make this container start at boot time, which I guess you can probably do like a cron job or something for it. I think the thing that's intended is maybe use systemd. So I think it's what Podman generate. First of all, let's take a look at our container. Nothing running. That does not surprise me. Podman ps-a. We see our web 1 container. It's kind of curious when it was created. We see this is in the created status, hasn't been run. Was it Podman generate? I believe that's right. Let me check the man page, or actually I think I can just do the -- help. Because there's a certain thing to say, make it a systemd service yet. So Podman generate systemd, and let's do web 1. So what this is going to give you is the unit file for what would be a systemd service. So I wonder, because I think there's an import command for systemd, I believe, not 100% sure. But let's see if we can find it. Systemd, just do man systemctl. And something just I want to mention as you're doing your practice and stuff, I would not consider myself failing on this particular topic. Obviously, I have run a container here, but taking the time to kind of dive in, especially using the built-in documentation, because that's what you would have available to you on your exam. Taking the time to dive in to see about things, that can be quite helpful with remembering whatever it is that you are trying to do. It's one thing to you read about whatever the topic is. It's another thing to try and have stuff not work and try to figure out a way around it. I was fairly sure there may be a way to import unit files. I mean, you can always just make whatever.service and it's there, but I thought there was a way. Let's do this. Man, system CTL. Let's just look for import. Nope. Let's do system CTL help. It's probably not going to give us much of what we want. It's going to give us, the unit commands here. Let's see if there's anything that would be useful for this. Edit units, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so answer is no for that. So if I were to, all right, so I have my systemd service, and let's, looking at this here is wanting that. Okay, so let's just make us a little systemd service file and put this into it and see what happens. Let's see, I think it's what? Etsy system, or is it systemd system? Yeah, that's it. So we're going to put it into there. Well, let's do this. Podman generate systemd web1, and we're going to put that into web1.service. And now we're going to sudo copy web1 service to Etsy systemd system. All right, so there's our service, and we'll do systemd daemon reload, not systemc, but systemd. Oh, systemctl daemon reload. And let's do systemctl list units type service. Well, I expected to see web1 in there somewhere. Does it list all units? No. Usually I do, when I'm at work, I'm doing list units. Yeah, list units. Thought there was one that's shows everything that's not just list units. But anyway, sudo systemctl list units type, let's see, just -- all grep web. There was nothing for web. Well, this will be something to figure out. Bunch of sockets, all that. All right, that was interesting. So let me do sudo system start web1.service. Yeah, can't find it. Oh no, it actually failed. Systemctl status web1. I wonder if this needs to be done. There's like a systemd scope that's scoped to the user. Because this kind of makes sense. Because this is a rootless container, so root wouldn't know about it. I wonder. I'm kind of surprised that this service didn't appear in with list units, because clearly systemd knows about it. I misspelled systemd. That's what I get for doing videos too late. I'm going to add my user to this system. Well, we didn't get an immediate failure. Okay, that I kind of expected. Not like I have a great technical understanding of what's going on, but yeah. So I'm going to get rid of that service file. Etsy systemd system web1.service, and we'll do system ctl daemon reload. Okay, now let's see if I can figure out to do a service that is in the scope of just a user. And I think I'm probably going to look to local for that. Maybe not. Let's do man systemd. User lib systemd. Yeah, but I know we can do stuff that's, yeah, options -- user. So default unit activate will start up. No, I don't necessarily want that. Unless I do, you know, I'm just curious. I'm just kind of messing around here. Systemctl start. User web1. Go back to my home directory. Start user web1.service. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try to figure this out. We'll try to do it without, consulting Dr. Google. And let's see if I'm able to do this, because I'm fairly sure there's a place you can put systemd unit files that are user specific, or I may just be totally wrong with that. Yeah, I'll have to do some research outside of this video to figure that out, which I will, because I think it's important to know how to make a container be able to run automatically at boot time using a systemd service, even though I don't think there was anything in the actual objectives for that. I think that's a reasonable thing to have happen, just considering how Red Hat's always about, all right, everything has to survive a reboot. But as far as running containers locally, I think we stopped it. We couldn't pause it because I need to look up about control group v2 or C group v2, getting that running and doing the systemd thing. But other than that, I think that's about it as far as, there's more stuff you can do. You can do, I think I've done in a previous video, Podman exec, where you run a command against your running container. You can also do -d for detached mode, like the web server. When I first did Podman run for that, I could do -d to send it to the background. And you can also do IT for interactive if you need to get into the container to do troubleshooting, which there's a whole section of objectives for troubleshooting. So I'll probably cover that then. But I think for like the basic idea of run containers, I'm pretty confident with that, with the couple things I still need to look up. So I hope you found the video useful. If you did, make sure you click like. I want to thank returning subscribers for watching another video. And if you are watching and haven't subscribed, do click that subscribe button and ring the bell. Thank you for your time, and I will see you the next time.